Hopefully you're doing well and I earned your sub. So I did a video about Babyface yelling about the pronouns in Starfield. It kind of got mixed reception, so I think people are on the fence about it. I still think he was overreacting, but this right here is not going to win any favors. Look, I don't really care about pronouns. If someone says they want to be identified as a certain pronoun, I'm okay with it. I don't really care if it really means that much to someone. Go right ahead, but at the same time, I don't think it should be some. I think that a lot of people, at least in the modern age, don't really care. Like, if someone wants to be identified as a certain way, most people will just do it and just say, okay, this is what the person wants. But it's when you start shoving it down people's throats when people get really annoyed about it. It's like, I'm a bit older, so I don't know if they still have this. I haven't been to a mall in like ages, but they used to shove like products in your face when you would walk around in the mall, especially if you went to one of those big stores like Macy's, Sears. And a lot of people would get annoyed about it when they would shove cologne or like clothes or something in your face saying, hey, buy this, and they'll be less likely to buy it. And I feel like that's what people are really more annoyed about. Like, they don't really mind this, they just don't want it to be shoved down their throat every single time. And when you have a situation like this, it kind of feels that way, because instead of being something like that's just there and you could just click A and move on with your life, it just doesn't pair well, because it kind of sides with the people who are saying like there's an agenda going on. I'm not really sure, maybe I'm blind to it, but I don't see an agenda going on. But when this starts happening, it's hard to make the argument against it. So, Nexus mod reportedly banned Starfield mods that remove pronouns. The pronouns in Starfield are much more of not a big deal that Nexus mods is now allegedly banning any mods that remove them from the game. Now, if you don't know what Nexus Mods is, it's a very popular website where people publish mods that other people download for their games. And the thing about this is that mods are only regulated to PC, so only PC players on Starfield can use these. So it just makes it even more, alarming when you start to say, okay, this is not allowed. Because if you go through Nexus mods, I won't say what these mods are and what profiles have them, but there are certain mods that are just like very shady. Let's just put them out there. It's not that they have malware or anything like that. They're very shady. I really don't want to get into it because YouTube is getting more strict about what you say on their platform. So let's just say there's stuff that you don't want anyone below the age of 21 to look at. Twitter users were drawing attention to some threads in Starfield Steam forums revealing that Nexus Mods supposedly announced they will ban any mods that remove the pronoun feature. So here it is. And here is the true problem with the pronouns in Starfield. I don't care if you can be he, she, they, them, or your majesty, but I do care about the fact that it is a political tool used to enforce obedience, and if you disobey, you get whacked. That's actually a really good point. Like, if it's not a big deal, then people should be allowed to remove them if they see fit. Like I said, this is only for PC platforms, so people actually have to seek out this mod, put it into their game, and then execute it. So I don't see the big deal about it. But when you actively try to stomp this out, it's just going to make things worse, and it's going to draw more attention to it. It's the Streisand effect in full effect. It kind of throws my original argument out of the window when I said that it was not a big deal. I don't think a lot of people are going to be that caring about it. Well, my argument is completely shot because apparently they care a lot. They made an official announcement that will stand against transphobia, bigotry, and their platform has no room for hate. Any mods that promote this will be removed. We are winning. Starfield is groundbreaking in so many ways, socially, culturally, and economically. Sorry, I was so excited to post it that I forgot the meat of it. They will not be supporting any mods that remove pronouns. Also, I want to make note that Nexus Mod is a privately owned website. So the reality is that they can do this. Like, there are other mod websites that you can use, but Nexus Mod is the most popular option. It's what I used for Resident Evil 7 to get those cool Simpsons mods. But yeah, like, they have the right to deny service to anyone, to remove whatever they want on their platform. Like, if you ever went to a convenience store and they decided, I don't know, they don't want to sell Coca-Cola products anymore, they're free to do so. Like, they have a right to just say no. and you as a consumer also have a right to go somewhere else. I think that's the best option. If you don't agree with this, you go and shop somewhere else, use someone else's services. That's kind of how I operate if I'm not happy with the way a business operates. Like, for example, there's a Wendy's by me. They always mess up my order, they always screw up something. I've gone there multiple times, and the last time I went was last week, and that's the final time I'll ever go to them because they constantly mess up my order. Not saying that I'll stop going to Wendy's, I'm just not going to go to that one because, it's not doing well for my business. Pronouns, simultaneously a significant thing that you're stupid for caring about, but you also can't allow anyone to remove them from their own game because it would be problematic and literally transphobia. And I guess this is it. There doesn't appear to be any announcement on the Nexus Mod website or Twitter account about the matter, but one Twitter user shared a message they got from Nexus Mod support, so this is what they got. We reserve the right to host or not host whatever content we want on our site. We do not want to host mods that remove diversity from a video game. If that upsets you enough that you no longer want to use our site, then quite frankly, your presence here will not be missed. I invite you to use your account settings page, delete account feature. Have a great day. Dude, that is the most passive-aggressive email I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen I'm sure a lot of us have seen HR statements before that are just like very milquetoast, but this is, my God, it's basically get the hell off our website if you don't like it. Wow, I've never seen an email like this. This is, wow. I find it a little strange up here on the vast.ott, but maybe that's something I'm just not aware of. But regardless, wow, that is really harsh. Nexus Mod support. How would you rate my reply? Wow, damn. A feedback thread on Nexus Mod's website also had a staff member claiming that the banning of the mods that remove pronouns from the game is allegedly not happening. Don't ban people modding out LGBT propaganda from Starfield like Nexus did with Spider-Man. It's simple, people are not allowed preferences. If we prefer to mod out unnecessary BS from a game that's our I can't read that word, I apologize. And not up to Nexus management. I'm trying to get better at pronunciation. I am taking classes, so I apologize for that. To decide what people can and cannot do with their own property. This has been covered many times before and isn't something we're talking about or not working on right now. So what they're talking about is this right here, what happened with Spider-Man Remastered. So basically, Nexus mods were removing the mod that changed the pride flag, the limited pride flags that were in the game until US flags, and it was apparently done by a sock puppet account named Mike Hawk, which you probably will get that reference, and they labeled this a troll mod and stated that the person didn't have the bravery to put it on their main account and simply uploaded a sock puppet account to upload this mod knowing full well that it would be banned. So that's what they're referencing here. However, a webmaster of Nexus Mod made it clear their stance on mod banning, even if they don't address the matter directly. So here's their policy, and there's an ad. Our policy on this sort of content is laid out in a news post, Nexus Mod, specifically paragraph 3. Whether you continue to use our site based on the policy is entirely up to you. However, pay particular attention to the second to last paragraph, and the news post, the same applies here. Can't click that, it's an image. Oh, here it is. The news post to the webmaster link, which was from the Spider-Man Pride game. Oh, this was the one that we just looked at. Nexus Mod is no stranger to having biased political agenda, as they banned alternate costume mod because the character it was affecting was underage, despite the lack of evidence claiming this. A mod that turned a black character in Baldur's Gate 3 white was also removed from corrupt website. The site also banned a mod that changed all the LGBT flags into American flags in a certain Spider-Man game. What do you mean certain Spider-Man? It's Spider-Man Remastered. So yeah. The policing of people's politics on such websites is sadly not uncommon, as gender propaganda and woke corruption of the West have permitted throughout the entire entertainment industry. Wow. Like I said, this is not going to win any favors. I think the best thing for them to do in this situation was to ignore it. If they just didn't say anything, I don't think it would have blown up in the way that it did, and it's just going to create more eyeballs into the situation that will make any time a situation like this happen to allow people to reference this type of stuff. Like, again, I don't care. Like, that is my personal opinion. Like, if you have a different opinion, that's fine, but for me, I don't mind. Like, if someone wants to put he, him, they, she, whatever they want, they are free to, and if they have an option for me to do that, it's not going to really be a big deal to me. I don't really care. I'm just going to be like, okay, he. But when you have a situation like this and people feel like they're being forced fed an agenda down their throats, they're going to lash out. They're going to be much more negative towards this stuff, because that's how humans are. When their ideals are being antagonized, they eventually go down the route of, anger. And this situation is just going to get worse. But it is their website. Like I've stated before, they have a right to remove whatever they feel they don't want on their website, and people can go to other options, which I think would be a very good way for people to have that option to choose other websites that align to what they believe in, like the Epic Game Store. Like, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the Epic Game Store, but the fact that it exists is a great thing. Steam has an actual competitor that, can match them in a lot of ways, not to the same degree because Steam is still incredible, but, competition is always good. So in this sense, I think this would be a golden opportunity for another person to rise up, create their own modern website, and, allow what Nexus Mod does not. There's always going to be other people who are going to capitalize on situations like this, and I wouldn't be surprised if another modern website says, hey, we offer these options that Nexus Mod doesn't, but it is their choice to remove them if they don't want them, but it's just not going to win any favors. I kind of think it's best for Bethesda and Microsoft to just say, just be like, play. If guys don't want to play the game, that's fine, but we're not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole because it'll just look bad on our side. I don't know. If I was Bethesda and Microsoft, I just wouldn't address this. I would just ignore it and just keep promoting the game for the review scores and what people are saying. But tell me what you think about this situation. It kind of just shoots my entire argument in the original video in the leg. I'm still going to stand strong that if you don't like the game, you don't have to play it, you don't have to buy it, there are other options. I would recommend Armored Core 6, that's fantastic. I am still playing Starfield, and I am trying to get 100% in Armored Core, so it hasn't been really like, great time management for myself. I am enjoying Starfield, though. Like, it is a fun Bethesda game. If you like Skyrim, if you liked Fallout 4, it's more of that, and if you like that, you're going to have fun with it, but it doesn't really break any new grounds for anything else. But I could be wrong about that. I've only put about 20 hours into it. But that's going to be it from me. Tell me about what you think about this entire situation, and I love to hear other people's opinions. Please be constructive. If you're constructive in your argument, I'm more likely to read it than if you just go completely bonkers and start cursing me out. In that case, I kind of just ignore the comment, or YouTube puts it into the held by review, and I never look at that section because it's just like a tsunami of stuff you just don't want to read that will destroy your mental state and ruin your day. But yeah, that's just me. Tell me what you think. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. That's me signing out. Goodbye.